Dank Swamp Rebellion and the return of the man, the myth, the legend, RattlesnakeDre. I literally have not seen you in about 35 episodes now. But you're like 35 episodes away from the last time I saw you.
And y'all been hustling since.
And that was at my job.
Right.
My real job. Well, not my real job. This is my real job.
I'm so happy to fucking see you, dude. Like, it's so nice. Like, we got Mr. RattlesnakeDre back on DSR, man. I'm so stoked that you're here, brother.
Congratulations on getting married, man.
Yes. Thank you. That's about the only thing that's stressing me out right now in my life. So I think I'm doing okay. She's a great gal. She lets me do all my crazy adventures. So
that's what's up. It's always nice to have that other half that supports you, and vice versa.
Right.
Because I know you're real big into her stuff too, right? Like her photography and all that stuff. So
because she helps me, and I try to help her every way I can, and she puts up with all my bullshit and me, leaving.
That's the main thing, right?
That's a big one. Yeah.
And just like Randy with Tyler.
Oh God.
And also Kelly with me. It's just they mostly just put up with our bullshit. And if you can find a woman that can do that,
that's a full and a half time job on its own.
But yeah, man, you had a lot of stuff going on over the holidays. How did you survive COVID?
I've actually been tested way too many times. I don't know if you guys been tested yet.
Yeah, they put it right up my pee hole, and it was weird. I don't know if that's normal.
And that was the drive-thru at Walgreens,
right?
Which was really weird.
I'm just glad you didn't say McDonald's. I've been tested a couple times working for Coca-Cola. They're really strict, so anytime I come in contact with anybody, I have to go get tested. And I've actually gotten tested twice in one day, which is lovely. And if you haven't gotten tested, it's about a 6-inch. It's not like a Q-tip, it's like a toothbrush, and they shove it to the back of your brain. The first time
they
I had
scoop a little piece of brain food out of there.
And I don't have a lot, so I hope I don't have to get tested anymore.
Hang on to most of what you got left, right?
But it is severe, it sucks, but it's whatever. But yeah, surviving COVID, luckily metal detecting, you can go do that by yourself.
Was COVID a thing whenever we first had you on? Like, or did that start?
It was not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because we didn't touch on it at all.
It was not.
That's amazing to me. I thought we were always in COVID world.
No.
Huh.
I know that it seems like this has become for what forever has been, but no, I didn't wear a mask before that.
That's kind of crazy. But
it's the people you see out, like when you're out in the boat, right? You're out in DRE and you're cutting across the lake and a boat passes you, and everybody in the boat also has a mask on. I'm like, what's happening?
I had actually heard somebody make a comment one time, and it was hilarious, and I remember it. And he was talking about the people that just drive around by themselves with a mask on. And he's like, do you just wear a condom randomly just in case you have sex?
I mean, I do.
I have one on constant protection right now.
It's not for the sex. I have one of those condom catheters just so I can piss myself in public.
Long trips or anything like that.
Or when I'm at Rouse's.
There you go.
All right, you just use a Rouse's bag. Gravant taught me that one.
Yeah, I use that, or sometimes I like to save my old beer bottles. I'll save up my urines, and then I sell them to the little kids that are trying to pass the piss test to go work at like the Wendy's or the Sonic, the Hedgehogs, or something like that. But they all think that it's clean, but it's not.
Puff bet.
I don't do crystal meth. I just put it in the pee, and that way they have to take the fall.
I would love to see those test results just to see what's going on there.
It's like this is the actual piss test they use to see if what drugs are in. They're all in here.
I'm
so confused.
How did you test positive for everything?
And pregnancy.
And
3
gay.
times.
Like, I don't understand.
I'm not really gay anymore, babe. I'll tell you, I'm on the patch Distrokid. All right? But, what else you got coming up, dude? What you working on?
Yeah, man.
I've been super tied up with work, but I'm actually getting back. I just had to get used to what I was doing because it's a completely different aspect of what I started doing with Coca-Cola. Now I'm in sales, so it kind of consumes a lot of your life, but I'm kind of smoothing that out and figuring it out, and then I'm jumping back into the fields and into the woods and get lost. It's my favorite place to be, is just get lost out there. And I do have some really cool stories I'm about to share with y'all tonight.
Fucking right.
But I do have a gift. I'm going to grab it real quick and I'm going to show it to you. Cause
we love gifts.
Yeah, man.
Right. I didn't want to show you. I wanted to wait until we were mic'd.
You remember that one gif you sent me that one time? And it was like Darth Vader with the Christmas wreath around his neck? That was a cool gif.
Yeah, those are good gifts. I mean, the best gift of all is friendship, though, right?
Yes. Did you learn that from Care Bears?
The magic school bus, bitch.
What we got here, man?
All right. So these are my notes, because I wrote a bunch of notes because I'm not as smart as Kyle.
Oh.
But I did listen. Okay, before I show you this, I wanted to say that all the guys that you've been having on here are freaking killer, and y'all been doing some really good shows. I was extremely impressed with the last couple guys that came on here. I've listened to as much as I could of them, and I mean, Kyle's the only one that really pissed me off because he knows a little bit more than me. So I've been taking notes, and the way he tells stories is it's very impressive, but also pisses me off because I was like, I didn't know that son of a
Don't
bitch.
you hate it when that one person comes along and just makes you up your game?
I'm just so bitter about it.
That's what I miss about live shows, because I can't go see a guitar player that's just like astronomically better than me and motivate me to push to the next level. And that's where the competitive part is good, right?
Yeah.
When it helps like that. But whenever it gets to the part where it's like staggering, or like if, say, you know, Kyle's a better story than me, being fuck it, I'm not gonna do it anymore. That's the stupidest thing ever, right? It just should push you to the next level. And I miss that about live shows so much, because I need that shit. And it's nice to hear, man, yeah, you're really good at doing this, you're killer at guitar. It's like, cool, man. I don't really register with that. That doesn't do shit for me, other than the fact that I'm doing what I'm supposed to. Other than someone destroying fucking guitar and I need to do that, you know, it's different.
It's the same thing whenever people say, hey, T-Dave, look at those dick pics you took, bro. They're so pristine and beautiful like that. Look at the way you put a light leak right on the tip. They're going that.
By the way,
Don't forget to send your dick pics to Dave LeBlanc at dlmedia@gmail.com.
I really appreciate. I listened to some of that, and I really appreciate what y'all talked about whenever you took pictures of me. We're not going to get into it, though. I don't want to talk about that again. So let's get into what I got for y'all. The last time I came here, I said I would get y'all some pretty cool stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all the first gift, which is not in this really cool frame I have underneath here. I don't know if you realize
He's
what that
opening
was.
a laptop case, and it's a little portfolio thing.
Yeah, for
here.
people that...
Only audio
we
listeners. We got video going on
we
right
do
now,
have video.
too.
We did.
So look, right here. I don't know if that's on video or not, but
It is.
I have two presents for both of y'all, and these are really cool. I talked about these the last show.
Oh, fucking
So I'm going to
right.
hand these to you,
Oh, man.
and I'm sure y'all know what those are.
Yes.
Check that out.
So these are Civil War bullets dug right here in Thibodaux, probably less than a mile away from where we're sitting.
That's amazing.
And the really cool thing, I grabbed two different bullets. The one that you have in your hand, Cody's hand, is an unfired bullet. So that was dropped when people were marching, running, whatever.
When they were getting shot.
The one that Tyler has in his hand is mushroomed out on the top because it was fired. And that either hit the ground, someone, or a tree.
Let me see
Now,
that.
Keep in mind,
Wow.
they were firing at each other at very close range, usually in an open field.
Right.
So the chance of that hitting a tree, not good. The chance of it hitting the ground, again, maybe 50-50. So that could be one of the, that could be a death bullet.
That could have killed someone, absolutely.
Right. And these are just the tip of the iceberg. These are the little gifts I wanted to give you for inviting me here, and all the help and all the advice that you give me.
Fucking right, man. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And this is another thing about history that I like. I very much enjoy museums, but whenever I was a child, I'd go to the children's museum and you can play with stuff and touch stuff, and that was like something that was huge to me, was actually being able to touch different parts of history or science or whatever. So if I was ever involved in any type of museum or historical site or whatever, I would love to have at least a couple of things that kids can actually touch, because there's a difference between seeing something in a glass case and being able to put your hands on it.
Absolutely.
Because the feeling I get whenever I dig up something like this, knowing that it's 150 years it has not seen the light of day, and then all of a sudden I dig it up and then boom, it tells you a story.
Yeah.
And there's so many different aspects and different evidence that when you dig up something like this, like I know that someone dropped that. Were they running for their life?
Yeah.
Were they running to battle? The one that was shot, did that hit somebody? Did that come inches away from taking someone's life? You know? And these were fired from rifles that are 150 years ago. So the technology isn't as the same as today. So this was traveling at a very slow speed. So it's not like what you see in the movies where guys are shot and they're like, oh, and they fall. When these were hitting people, it was like getting hit in the chest with a baseball going 200 miles an hour. So this would fold you and take you out like you're getting hit with a truck.
Yeah. Shit.
So what you see on TV is not...
And it's super heavy.
Right. It's not as accurate.
Because
when that's hitting you, that's not going at a very high velocity.
Right.
Most of the time, it only go in you about a couple of inches.
And it drops super fast.
Right. So a lot of these wouldn't go through and through you. They would hit you and be stuck in you. That's why you'd see them pulling them out and stuff. And usually you just bled to death. It wasn't even internal injuries.
That sucks.
Right.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
Dude, that is amazing.
Yeah, it
Right.
is.
Thank you so
So
much.
it's really cool. That's why I wanted to give you those. I actually have some in this case here, but I wanted you to have those. That way, if you ever have anybody else that's interested in that kind of stuff, you could actually hand them that, and they could feel it, and they can get that connection with history, and they could, because the weight of that tells you like, holy shit, this is real.
It is.
And it's absolutely weird because you and I talked about it when you were here last time, that there's a certain vibration, and the minute you put it in my hand, it's not a good or a bad feeling. It's just an odd feeling.
The frissons.
It is.
That's exactly what it is, Nick.
That's amazing.
But cool. I'm glad y'all like that. And now I'm gonna unveil what I have for y'all. And this is a case of some stuff that I've found.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Let me put this right here, actually. So I'm going to hand this. I guess I'll hand it to Tyler in a second, and he'll be able to show. You might want to put it on, take a picture of it later. You might be able to put it up there.
Definitely.
But I'm going to go through it on what I have in this case that I'm giving them. And I'm going to start from the bottom, and I'm going to go to the top. So at the very bottom, I have a very good friend of mine that we trade stories, and he's a big relic hunter. He hunts Native American artifacts. And he sent me a piece of pottery and an arrowhead. Now this is in between 300 and probably 3,000, maybe older. I'm not as educated in the Native American artifacts, but these could be thousands of years old or hundreds of years old. But these are Native American artifacts. This is the bottom piece of an arrowhead and a piece of pottery. And if you look at it good later, you could see the intricate little designs that they've put in that pottery.
Oh. Dude, this is amazing.
That's awesome.
Right, and he sent me some that are like 9,000 years old, and I'm like, holy shit.
That's insane, man.
Dude, if you guys were only knew what I'm feeling right now, because this shit, I love this type of stuff.
It's fucking amazing.
Right, and this is just the first thing in here.
Yeah.
So the second set of items, there's 3 little metal objects right to the left of it. And this is actually from a secret society that's over 100 years old. It's called the Knights of Fathius. Super cool name. I've did a little bit of research.
You heard that,
on
Kyle? Knights of Fathius. Bet you didn't know that.
Bitch. With your beautiful hair.
Go fap on that
Fuck
one.
you and your beautiful hair.
Kyle, I love you, dude. You're just... your voice is too good. Your hair is too beautiful. I'm bitter about it. I'm growing my hair out now, and I'm going to get more educated than you. It's coming.
You're just setting up the premise, brother. It's perfect.
Okay, so let's get back to that. Cause,
right, so this is an actual shield off of either a jacket or a hat from the... This is a secret society, by the way.
And guys, we're going to put all this... We're going to take pictures of this really good and put it on our social media, because you guys have to see this. So when he says a shield, it's actually... It's about a 1.5 inch tall... It's a little shield. It's actually a shield with some embellishments on it.
And then I have a button, a coat button, and then a cuff link. And it has all the information on it. I picked some of the better ones that I have so you can see it. Go look it up. Knights of Fathius. There's a couple like really high-ranking people about 100 years ago that were actually in it, so it's pretty cool. It's actually still viable today. I think there's still people in it today.
Oh, wow.
Actually. So right above that, I have some more Civil War bullets. I have one that's in perfect condition. I have a couple of, like this one right here. This one, I can almost guarantee you probably hit somebody.
It killed
you
someone.
can see.
Yeah. It's mushed.
Yeah, and the only reason why I say that, I found this on battlefields. These in particular right here were found on a battlefield that over 200 people died on.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah,
that,
so it was a bloodbath.
Right. In that same field, I found bone fragments that I leave there.
Yeah.
And a crazy story, I don't know if I told this on the last one. I can't remember very well. But on the same field, I have dug up a human tooth.
Yes. All you said was that you dug it up and then you put it back to rest.
Said a little prayer. But these bullets are from the same field.
That's amazing.
Which is not far from this location, which that makes me feel crazy.
Even crazier, yeah.
So in the field, I did find a porcelain button. And this is period, so dates back 150 years ago to the Civil
where would you
War.
find a porcelain button?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On the Titanic? Right. It's like shit.
So this either came off of their clothing or the field was a sugarcane field. So this might have been one of the slaves. Which either way has a very strong...
You don't think about those little details about life back then. They didn't have a fucking Walmart where you go get plastic buttons and tie.
No,
you know,
fuck no.
You know, they had to make everything out of what they had, and that's what they had. How
probably,
hard was it to even to produce that?
This is probably that person's best dress type scenario.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And to bounce off of this little button again, I have another story about a button. I'm going to tell it real quick before I forget. There's a field that I know that they had Spanish settlements there. Because of different things I found, I know it was related to that area. And in that area, you could see they had oyster shells strewn about the house site. I found the house site because they had the red clay bricks all over the field. So I knew there was a house there. And then I found a spot that they had oyster shells. So a lot of the French and Spanish settlements would go and pick oysters, and they're good for like a week. So they would travel them back home, and that way they could eat for a couple days or bring it to whoever's at their homestead. So in the middle of the oysters, I see a little button, and it's perfectly round, and I pick it up. Someone had fastened a button out of an oyster shell.
Oh, wow.
Had chiseled it.
Oh, my. Out of the mother of pearl from the inside.
Right.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I found it on that property, and that is one of my most prized possessions because that just speaks the, like today like you said, we run to Walmart, we go grab a shirt. Back then, they had to use the things in their environment to actually make their clothes. So was that on a fur coat? Did they make?
I just got the worst visual. I saw like the movie The Conjuring, and he goes pick up the button, and he's like, "This is really cool. Look at this," and he starts to think about all that stuff that he just said, and he turns and he walks away, and there's this little boy over there with a bullet hole right through his eye, and he's a ghost, and he's watching him take his button.
It's crazy.
We need to make that a movie.
We could. I have the button.
That'd be badass.
Would you call it Benjamin Button in reverse?
So what is this?
This is actually really cool. So these soldiers that had these bullets were dressed in uniform and they had boots. This is the heel plate that sat on the bottom of a boot.
Oh shit! Yeah. That's
What?
fucking nuts.
Yeah, and these are extremely rare. I've only found a couple of them.
Is it made of lead?
It's made of brass.
Oh my god,
That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
And I have about 4 of these. This is actually hit.
This is not made by Nike, people.
No. These might have been. I haven't been educated in how they made, in the blacksmithing part.
Yeah.
But I'm almost positive this was handmade. Whether it's made with some type of machinery, or it was
some type of press or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But this absolutely 100% found on the battlefield alongside the bullets, alongside all the other debris, but this speaks a lot of history because this is literally in the footsteps of a soldier.
Yeah, man. Shit.
So I wanted to give y'all that because I think that all of this stuff combined has each a really cool story behind it. There's so much power behind each one of these objects. It's unreal. That's why I'm hoping y'all can put a picture of it up.
Yeah. Oh, we absolutely will.
So I'm going to move straight up to right here. This is a piece of paperwork. And what happened was I was in New Orleans because I frequent antique shops and thrift stores because some days I can't go dig, but I'm always treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Every day of my life. So I was in an old antique store and they had a bunch of books all the way in the back. So I'm pulling the books down looking for, because I have a bunch of really old books just for aesthetics in my relic room. So I open up one of the books and I'm thumbing through it and all of a sudden a couple of letters fall out in my lap. And I'm looking at it and I immediately notice, I'm like, this paper is extremely old. The writing is legit. So I slide them all back into the book, grab the book, and I'm like, I'm going to walk to the front. I'm going to buy the book. I'm going to get all the letters for free. So I walked to the front. I asked the lady, I was like, hey, look, I found this old book. How much do you want for it? She's like, I know they have old letters in it. I'm like, shit. Fuck. Now I'm going to pay. So being the dirty salesman I am, I start giving her pity. So I say, how much do you want for it? She's like, I want $20 for the book and $20 for each letter. And I had about 15 or 20 letters, all dating back to this period, which, by the way, this letter is from 1815.
Oh, shit.
So that's over 200 years ago. This paper, when I brought this to a museum to show a guy, he's like, why do you have this? I was like, oh, I found it. He's like, you shouldn't have this. Why do you have this?
You're not a museum.
Right. So I tell the lady, I was like, well, I really want it. I said, but if I give you all that money, I'm not going to have any gas money to get home. Well, she laughs and says, just give me $20. So I said, okay. So when I get home, I take all the letters out and I take them and I put them on Facebook. Immediately, one of my friends asks me like, oh man, those are really cool. I'll give you $100 for one. I was like, all right. So I made all my money back. He has a cool piece of history. Now you guys have a really cool piece of history.
That's amazing.
And when's
the last time I saw something that cool though? Seriously? Is when I went to the Titanic exhibit in Vegas. Because they had things like that. They had a lot of things that were exhumed from the ship.
Right.
I mean...
which should be in a museum, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be in my freaking man cave.
Well, I drove it in my Murano over here, so now you guys have it.
Right.
But this is really cool. This is actually...
that's amazing.
So you're going to be able to haggle.
I cannot wait to show people this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I'm going to show this off so hard.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I know.
So this is actually written in French, and I've never had it translated.
Oh, we're on it.
So they have names right here. I know the last name is Israel. There's a couple other names on here, so if you guys want to figure it out, I could be giving you something that's worth $1 million, but that's how RattlesnakeDre rolls.
That's it, baby.
You know,
That's awesome.
Right? I'm only here for a very short time, and all the things that I've found will one day be lost again. You know, whether it's through my hands or somebody else's. So I do not get attached to these. I find them, grab them, tell the story, and if I find somebody else that can use it or appreciate it, I let it go.
That's fucking awesome.
And this is going on the on the bus, man. We're taking this on tour. We're gonna spread this to people. We're gonna show this.
Awesome. And then right here, I have this is a tiny little bottle. This is a cork top bottle. This is probably around 120 years old. It's a medicine bottle, and I dug this up because I was in a cane field doing my investigations, and I'm like, oh, there's a little glass here. There's bricks here. Oh, there's more glass here. There's a whole bottle. Start digging up more. There's more and more. I found 15 bottles in one day, and it was a pit. It was in the back of where a house would be.
Yeah.
And they would throw all their trash there. And I'm friends with a guy in New Orleans that does that, and he's a bartender, but he makes more money selling old bottles and things he digs from that pit than he'll ever do bartending. So I thought that was really cool. That's something different, you know, from the metal things I find. And I left the best for last. I don't know if y'all can look at that. Do you know what that is? It's a pottery shard.
Yeah, it looked like it was something off of a piece of old china, actually.
Right. And this is my big middle finger to Kyle. because no, I heard him talk about the Chenier story. My dad told me that story. He actually has a book somewhere. He said he can't find it. I'm still looking for it. It tells the whole story of Chenier.
Oh, awesome.
I would love to put that in Kyle's hands.
For sure.
That way he could have even more information about it. But this was found along the shore of Chenier. So this is the pottery and the people that were there. I don't know what they were. They were
Chenierians.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Chenierians, right? But this was a piece of pottery that I found walking the beaches.
knees.
Right. So I found this walking the beach with my metal detector one day, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I know that's old. I wish I could find, coins and stuff. But when he started telling the story, it related so much. I went and I dug through my stuff, found that I was pumped, and that was the first thing I threw in the case for you guys.
Dude, that's so cool, man.
Man, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother. That's so cool.
I can't wait to show people this, man. We're going to put that on our social media.
Huge display. Each one of these are going to get their own post for sure.
And you can open it. That way you can kind of,
cool.
If you want to touch it and see what it really,
Dude, yes,
feels
man.
like.
That's so badass, man.
Really appreciate that, man.
No problem.
So cool.
I'm glad y'all have it.
Hell yes.
Like I said, I try not to get too attached to anything I find because one day, somebody lost it once upon a time, and
this is just another piece of the puzzle the way we get to spread a little more history and let people know what's going on because, well, like you said, with the exception of these two here, everything else is from this area, right?
Right, correct.
So,
but now this piece of pottery is not from Louisiana, but I have pieces that I've found.
Thank you for listening to DSR Talks. Tune in Saturday for part 2 with Rattlesnake Dre.